Most Americans have extended interactions with teachers. You likely have experience with a teacher grading, lecturing, managing, and perhaps even nagging. But consider that a teacher's most important job may be to shape and share ideas. In this capacity, teachers can be understood as street-level intellectuals. For David Labaree, who coined the term, this means that teachers are the largest and most visible single group of intellectual workers in the United States. That is, people who make their living through the production and transmission of ideas. For most educational scholars, this framing of the teacher intellectual is far too, well, neutral. The scholar most synonymous with the teacher intellectual is undoubtedly Henry Giroux. In the 80s and 90s, he, along with Stanley Aronowitz, coined the term the transformative intellectual. Borrowing from the cultural Marxist Antonio Gramsci, Giroux argued that the key task of the transformative intellectual is making the pedagogical more political and the political more pedagogical. What does this pithy phrase mean? Giroux explains that the first involves inserting education directly into the political sphere by arguing schooling represents both a struggle for meaning and a struggle over power relations. As to making the political more pedagogical, Giroux means utilizing forms of pedagogy that treat students as critical agents, problematizes knowledge, utilizes dialogue, and makes knowledge meaningful, critical, and ultimately emancipatory. If you have studied teacher education, curriculum, or social studies and literacy disciplinary knowledge, this likely sounds familiar. Giroux's transformative intellectual is situated firmly in the critical pedagogical tradition. For him and the scholars who followed him, the teacher intellectual must battle pedagogical inequities, structural inequalities, and the political disenfranchisement that ensconces schooling. In short, whereas Labaree positions teachers as intellectuals at the street level, Giroux argues teachers are intellectuals of the streets, and teachers must take back the streets and fight the power.